Yeah, we're going deep. We'll unpack things like, Vinicius Jr.'s subtle shift in positioning, why Alonso suddenly rolled out a new formation, and a pretty wild comparison to a club legend that really caught my eye. Stick around for those aha moments.
Okay, so let's paint the picture first. The match itself. Real Madrid versus Salzburg in Philadelphia. A pretty decisive 3-0 win for Madrid.
3-0. Comfortable, you'd say. Who got on the score sheet for them?
Well, it was Fede Valverde who opened the scoring, then Vinicius Jr. added another, and young Gonzalo Garcia rounded things off later on.
Right, right. And that win books their ticket to the next round, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Straight into the round of 16 down in Miami. And they have drawn Juventus, so that's going to be a big test.
Definitely one to watch. But let's rewind a bit. What was the feeling like after the Salzburg game? You often get the best insights straight from the players. Vinicius Jr., for instance. He was buzzing, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He was named MVP, scored one, assisted one, and that assist for Valverde. He actually called it one of the best of my career.
Wow, that's a huge statement from Vinny. What made it so special, do you think, that backheel?
Yeah, it was that audacious backheel just before halftime, setting up Valverde perfectly. He'd already scored the first himself around the 40th minute. Then Gonzalo Garcia got the third late on, 84th minute, I think.
And beyond just the highlights, Vinny talked about feeling good, like he's clicking with the coach.
He did. He mentioned having very good weeks, gaining confidence, and really quickly getting what Xabi Alonso wants from him.
Interesting. And he specifically mentioned wanting to play inside a bit more, closer to goal. What's the significance there?
Well, it suggests he's not just thinking of himself as a pure winger anymore. Playing more centrally gets him, into more dangerous areas, closer to the goal more often. It feels like an evolution in his game.
Maturity, maybe? And it wasn't just about Vinny, was it? There was that nice moment with Jacobo Ramon talking about Gonzalo Garcia.
Yeah, that was great. They came up through the youth ranks together, and you could hear the genuine pride in Ramon's voice. He was just really happy for Gonzalo getting his chance and scoring.
That sort of thing, that team spirit, it really matters, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It shows that connection, that foundation built over years. It's not just about tactics.
Speaking of tactics, though, Chouameni gave some interesting insights there. He said they're understanding Alonso more every day.
He specifically mentioned Alonso wanting them to be very compact with the team's forwards.
Okay, break that down for us. What does compact with the forwards actually look like on the pitch?
Essentially, it means minimizing the space between the defensive lines and the attackers. So when they lose the ball, the whole team is closer together, harder to play through. It helps win the ball back quicker, higher up the pitch.
Right, squeezing the opponent.
Exactly. And he also added the importance of doing a good job with the ball once they have it, so keep possession, be smart with it.
And he was already looking ahead to Juventus, calling it another final. No complacency there, even after a 3-0 win.
Not at all. That screams professionalism, doesn't it? Focus immediately shifts. Prepare. Stick to the plan. That seems to be the mantra.
And he had praise for Vini, too.
Oh, yeah. Called him a key player, talked about his goal, his assist, but also highlighted his defensive work and just the constant threat he poses. Shows that appreciation for the complete contribution.
Okay, so we've heard from the players, felt the dressing room vibe, but let's zoom out to the coach, Xabi Alonso. How did he orchestrate this? Because there were some interesting tactical decisions.
There really were. The big one, for me, was the formation change. He went with 3 central defenders. That's something he used quite a bit at Bayer Leverkusen, but it was new for this Madrid setup.
So why now? Was it specific to Salzburg or something bigger?
Well, Alonso said the idea had always been there in my head. He clearly trusts the players, mentioning their intelligence and the football culture to understand why they were using it.
And did it work? What were the benefits he saw?
He felt it gave them a lot of stability and maturity, especially in that first half. And crucially, he stressed the flexibility it offers them moving forward. Being able to switch systems like that is a huge asset.
It makes them unpredictable. And his take on Vinicius, it wasn't just the goal and assist he focused on, was it?
No, not at all. He specifically praised Vini's sacrifice, his defensive commitment. That's massive for an attacking player known for flair.
Yeah, you don't always hear coaches highlight that aspect for star attackers. What does that tell you?
It tells me Alonso values the work rate just as much as the magic. He said Vini's defensive work allowed the team to be very compact, both with and without the ball, but still gave him freedom to attack. It points to Vini becoming a more, complete player.
Okay, but the comment that really made headlines was the comparison he made about that Vini backheel.
Ah, yes, the Goody comparison. He actually likened Vini's assist to that legendary backheel pass from Guti. Alonso was actually on the pitch for Guti's, so he joked Guti's was still crazy, but then immediately said Vini's was almost the same.
Wow, to be put in the same sentence as that Goody moment.
Exactly. It's incredibly high praise, putting him in really rarefied air.
And he didn't stop there with the comparisons. He had some very interesting words for Gonzalo Garcia, too.
He did. Called him a typical number 9, which is interesting in itself. But then he dropped another huge comparison.
Don't keep us hanging.
He said Garcia reminds me of Raul.
Raul? Seriously?
Seriously. He highlighted Garcia being always in the right position, always waiting for the chance, and praised his great work ethic.
That's immense praise, and especially significant because Garcia was filling in for Mbappe, right, who was out sick.
That's the context. Mbappe had gastroenteritis. Garcia steps in, scores, and gets compared to Raul by Xabi Alonso. Talk about seizing an opportunity.
Incredible. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've heard from the players, the coach. What does this all actually mean when you look at the bigger picture for Real Madrid?
Well, I think when you hear Jacobo Ramon talk about Gonzalo or Tchouaméni discussing tactics, and then you layer on Alonso's philosophy, it points towards a really strong team cohesion and adaptability maybe we haven't seen quite like this before.
It feels like more than just winning a game.
It does. It feels like maybe a bit of a shift. Less reliance purely on individual moments, maybe. More towards a flexible, solid system where everyone contributes. That adaptability could be key.
And Alonso's willingness to try new things like that 3 at the back system, that's not just tinkering, is it?
No, I think it signals real strategic depth. The fact they can switch formations effectively, especially ahead of a big game like Juventus, makes them so much harder to prepare for. It adds another weapon to their arsenal.
And drilling down on Vinicius again, takeaway isn't just he scored and assisted, it's deeper.
Exactly. It's the sacrifice, the defensive commitment that Alonso highlighted that suggests he's becoming, a cornerstone of the system, not just a source of attacking brilliance.
Yeah.
That's a subtle but really important evolution.
Yeah, a two-way threat. And finally, Gonzalo Garcia's impact. What does that tell us?
It just underlines the squad depth, doesn't it? Having a young player step up like that, especially when a superstar like Mbappe is unavailable, shows the strength of their pipeline and gives Alonso real options. It proves it's not just about the starting 11.
Okay, so wrapping it up. A dominant 3-0 win, yes. But beneath the surface, we see Alonso's tactics evolving. Players like Vinicius showing new dimensions to their game, and young talent stepping up brilliantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the big question for you, the listener, to chew on. Considering this adaptability, this growing tactical understanding under Alonso, and this blend of star power and emerging talent, what does this win really signal? Not just for the Juventus game, but for their overall chances in the Club World Cup and maybe even beyond. Could this tactical flexibility be the thing that defines their season?
Lots to think about there. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.